name is Steven Stott, and I'm here at Beat Percussion. Today I'd like to demonstrate some basic playing techniques for a Bongo Cajon. Alright, now before we actually start talking about some of the basic playing techniques of the Bongo Cajon, I want to address how you actually sit on the cajon, because this is important. First, you need to make sure that you're sitting straight up and down with your back very straight and very rigid. Alright, you need to make sure you have a good center of balance, making sure that both legs and feet are planted firmly on the ground on either side of the cajon. You need to make sure that your clothes and your legs are spread far enough that you're not overlapping the corners of the drum. Okay? Now, one of the optional ways of playing the Bongo Cajon is to lean it back. Now, you're not going to actually lean your whole body back. You're simply going to tilt your hips and the drum back a couple inches. Okay? Now, here's how it looks. Now, if you're playing this correctly, your upper body shouldn't move. It should stay right where it's at. Okay? Now, again, it's very easy to flip over backwards playing this style, so you need to make sure you have a good center of gravity. Alright? Now, as far as playing, there are actually 6 basic sounds for this drum. That's a lot, but I'll go through each of them with you. Alright? First one is what we call the bass. Stick out one hand and circle with one finger the palm of your hand. That's all that should hit the drum. Okay? So put it flat on your other hand, and what you want to do is to actually raise your fingers up. So the only thing touching is the palm of your hand. Now, do the same thing on the front of the drum, and where you want to hit is about 5 to 6 inches down. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom of the drum, but you need to go down far enough that you're getting a good bass response. Okay? Okay, that's your bass. All right. Our second basic sound is what we call the ride. Now, for this, you need to use the first row of knuckles on your fingers. So find this first set of creases, that's what you're going to hit with, and only that. Alright? Now, the Bongo Cajon is built so that the cajon face is actually sticking out further than the bongo face, okay? So find that top edge of the cajon face, and I want you to come down about half of an inch. And start tapping. If you're doing it right, what you should have is a mix between a tone and a snare sound. Now, our third sound we're going to make is what we call the snare. This is a place that a lot of drummers go wrong. They use the corners as their snare sound. Now, this isn't always bad, and there's a lot of times this actually is a good way to play, but in general, you want your snapping corners and your snare to be 2 separate sounds. You want to save your snapping for accents and for special occasions, okay? Now, so take the very same part of your hand, those creases, and I want you to move in about 3 inches or so, right there to a sweet spot. You should have a loud, snarey response. Okay? It should be very different than the corners. Alright, speaking of which, that is our fourth sound. Again, using the same part of your hands and the same hand stroke, we're going to hit the corners. Now, our fifth sound is actually one of the 2 bongo sounds. Now, you can't see it, but there's actually 2 chambers on this top area of the Bongo Cajon. Alright? Now, the center bar is about 5 to 6 inches in from the right-hand side. Okay? So this entire surface on the other side of that bar is one playing surface. Again, what I want you to do is use those creases in your fingers. And give a good tap. Alright, now find that bar and move to the right of it. And that's our 5th and 6th basic sound, alright? Now, let's do a real basic beat with our ride, bass, and snare, and then we'll use our bongo. I'll show the bongo and the snapping as accents, okay? Well, those are some basic playing techniques for our Bongo Cajon. I'm Steven Stott with Beat Percussion. Thank you.